Hey guys, this is NCSO7 here, and I've been doing DDLC mods for quite a while, and I'm gonna probably be fully honest, I'm sure that 98.734% of you guys who are watching my videos probably came to my channel through my DDLC mods more than likely. So, I think the time has finally come to do a top 5 on the best and worst DDLC mods that I have made. And note, these are personally my mods, not anyone else's mods, because, you know, reasons. Also, keep in mind that this is actually not my own list, and that these are all fan voted, though I did have a little bit of influence on the worst list because there wasn't enough responses. Thanks. And yeah, so keep in mind this was fan voted. Also, series videos in stuff like series, the special one, Project Sianka, and Elevators Go Wrong. Those are grouped into one specific choice. So there isn't like when elevators go wrong 2, 3, 4, whatever. I did this so that way for the best list it wouldn't just be all the elevator videos, because I know a lot of people like those, but I wanted to get some variety in the results. And also, yes, I was going to do this in 2 separate videos, but I kind of thought, why not just combine them into one? So that's what I ultimately decided to do. And I was going to do this on my 6th year anniversary of creating my channel, but laziness ensued, so I apologize for being late, but better late than never, I suppose. But I'm not going to keep it going any further. Let's head right into this. Coming in at number 5 on the worst list, we have Campfire Stories with 16% of the vote. Now, this is the one that I actually did vote myself, so I did again have a little bit of influence in this list. Don't worry though, none of the other choices were influenced at all. And the board in the best list isn't influenced at all, so just want to clear that up. And this is the personal one that I chose for the worst list. And so, why did I choose Campfire Stories? And I'm talking the whole series as well. The reason? Well, simply put, I just don't like it that much. Honestly, upon looking back at it, I just think the series had kind of missed potential, if I'm going to be completely honest. Honestly though, it wasn't necessarily like that out of the blue, because I didn't make a part for like a long time after part 1. And I ultimately ended the series much earlier than I was going to. And it just didn't really work the way I thought it would. I kind of had the idea of kind of just telling like scary ghost stories in this series, and I'm kind of acting it out, but it just didn't really pan out the best in my mind, as the first episode didn't even get that much critical praise. Granted, there was a little bit, but a lot of criticism in there as well, which is to be expected, given it wasn't really that great in the first place. And I don't really know. There's not really much else to say, because while I don't like this mod, it isn't the worst thing ever, but it's definitely one of my more lazy works. But this is only the bottom of the list, and everything from this point onward is all fan voted, so yeah. Coming in at the number 5 spot on the best list, we have 24 Hours with Yuri with 8.3% of the vote. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that this video is even on here, because even though I do know the video has a decently high view count, at least for my own standards, but to be honest, I don't think it's the best thing ever. Now don't get me wrong, I don't hate the video at all, I still think it's pretty good, but this was one of the older mods that I made, so you know what that means. I took the cell phone out and recorded the computer screen. I did not like it that much. That's kind of the problem with the video, it's just that camera, it's so bad. Thankfully, I did eventually remake the video with, well, actually capturing the footage the way they're supposed to be. But honestly though, this video is still pretty good. Even though I don't think it's as great as I would have liked it to be, it's still decent enough. Honestly though, if you really do like the original, I'd check out the remake. It's pretty decent and won't hurt your eyes as much. But that's enough of that. Coming in at the number 4 spot on the worst list, we have Sayori Does Something Unexpected with 16% of the vote. Really? This video? I mean, sure. So, why do I think that this is on the worst list? Honestly, I have no idea, but to be honest, I can sort of see something with one thing. The fact that the video kind of is a fart joke. I mean, that's kind of what the video is. Sayori farts and then poops herself. And while I will admit, yeah, it's definitely childish humor, I still think the video is honestly pretty funny, especially given context. Watch the video for yourselves. It's honestly pretty funny, if I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think the video is bad at all, and while I definitely do think that it could have definitely been kind of underwhelming to some, I don't know, it's still good in my book. Coming in at the number 4 spot on the best list, we have Monica Loses Her Mind and the MC's perspective version of the video at the 8.3% of the vote. This video is pretty decent if I'm going to be fully honest. And yes, I did include both versions, so I'll talk about the normal version first. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite videos where I basically just kind of toy around with Monica's AI. It's pretty funny. Honestly, a lot of the Monica videos are pretty funny in my opinion, and this one's definitely did not disappoint. While I think it could have gotten a little bit more extreme, it's still really funny. And there's also the MC's perspective where nothing just makes sense, and it's just great. Honestly, there isn't really a lot to say about a lot of these choices, if you've noted that I am pretty brief on a lot of this stuff, but it's because I just don't have a lot to say for some of this stuff. And even so, this video is still pretty damn solid, although it could definitely be topped. Only time will tell, though. Coming in at the number 3 spot on the worst list, we have Play With Me Now with 16% of the vote. Play With Me Now, yeah, I can kind of see this being on the worst list, and I can kind of see why. It's weird, it's sexual, I think that kind of explains itself. Even though a lot of people like that sort of stuff, I can definitely see why people wouldn't necessarily like this video. And honestly, looking back on the video, I definitely don't think it's the greatest thing ever. I don't know, there's something about it that I just feel was kind of meh. I feel like I kind of made the video when I was in a specific mood, and I don't know what it was. I know it was around the time I started doing sprite edits more in my videos, but I'm not really sure, man. Honestly, while I don't think it's the worst mod that I've made, obviously, as I've made it clear, it's still not one of the best mods I've made. I could have honestly done a lot more with the video, but whatever. Honestly though, the video isn't honestly that great. Coming in at the number 3 spot on the best list, we have the entire Sayori is a Special One series. Now, I know why a lot of people probably chose this option, and that's simply because it's probably the biggest mod that I've ever made and probably ever will make. Maybe, I don't know. Again, only time will tell. But Sayori is a Special One. Honestly, probably one of my most well-written mods out of all of them. In terms of series videos, it's easily one of my favorites. One of the first ones I made, even. And I think it still holds up extremely well. While I do think earlier parts kind of have some filler, and even occasional episodes don't really have a lot going on in them, I still think the series as a whole is still really solid, and very glad to have ended the series on the note that I did end it on. Honestly, there really isn't a lot to say, because you guys have already watched it, but honestly, if you haven't checked out my Series, the Special One series, I 100% recommend checking out the whole series, especially since now it's complete, so you can watch all the episodes in order and get the grasp of the full story. But as it stands, this is probably one of the best works of a mod that I've made so far, but it ain't the best. We'll find that out soon. Coming in at the number 2 spot on the worst list, we have Truth or Dare with 16% of the vote. Also, I may as well say it now, yes, a lot of these all these places were tied. Sorry, I'm not really doing much about it. Again, I didn't get a lot of responses for this voting, so yeah, sorry. But anyways, back to the matter at hand, Truth or Dare. Now, I can sort of see why some people didn't necessarily like this video, because it wasn't really a video out of my own originality. This was actually my attempt to kind of make a similar version of that of Monica D's videos, which are also of the same name, Truth or Dare, as he's made several parts and I decided to make one myself. And honestly, aside from that, I really don't know why people don't like it. I think it's pretty solid at the end of the day. Honestly, given the fact that it's only 6 minutes long, there's a lot in there, and honestly, a lot of unexpectedness and cleverly written humor. But honestly, I'm not sure why people don't like it. Again, maybe it's still a kind of thing that I kind of took the idea from Monica D, but at least I was able to make it better. But as it stands, while I still think it's a pretty decent video, I can sort of see why it's here. Even though it is at the same votes as the other ones, I still place it at number 2 regardless. Coming in at the top 2 spots on the best list, we've got a tie. Yep, there were a lot of ties in these countdowns, as you probably could tell based on the percentages being very similar to one another. Yeah, there were a lot of ties, but yeah. But at the number 2 spot of the best list, we have 24 Hours with Monica with 25% of the vote. Honestly, I don't agree with this, honestly. I'm gonna be fully honest. I am not proud of 24 Hours with Monica. Also, I may as well mention it now, this would be the last video that I would make that would be a mod that I would make that would use the god-awful camera. Jesus. Maybe I'll eventually remake this video too, and maybe make it what I wanted it to be. But honestly, this video was kind of lazy, if I'm going to be completely honest. Unlike the other 24 Hours videos that I've done, I feel like this one was just kind of lazy in the end, in my opinion. I feel like I didn't really put a lot of time into making the video. I kind of just made it. Even though I think that there was some interesting stuff in there, I don't honestly really see why people like it so much. But hey, to each their own, I suppose. But that's enough about that. Whereas it stands, it's a good video, but it's not really one of my personal favorites. And now, let's take our way to the top, or really the bottom of the barrel. Coming in at the bottom of the barrel, the number 1 worst mod that I've made is Project Psionica, the whole series, coming in at 33% of the vote. Now, I can sort of understand why people may not like this series, because it has MC kind of being kind of not cool, not really a very likable protagonist, if I'm going to be completely honest. And Sayori and Monica fusing together to kind of satisfy MC's needs might turn some people off in a way. But the thing is though, this series is not complete yet, so I will say that. However, but yeah, if it is the reason you don't like it is because of the fact that MC is not very likable, trust me, it will get better. So trust and believe that. And I think it's definitely one of the more interesting mods. And while I wouldn't say it's anywhere near as good as that of Sayori's a special one, I still think that this series is still pretty decent. It's definitely a lot more tight on the writing, but I can definitely see where people do come from, even though it will get a lot better. Trust and believe, because everything that you've seen so far is intentional. Trust me, it will get better, and it will pay off in the end. But as it stands now, while I don't personally agree with it, I can definitely see why some people may not like it. Now, on to the best of the best. finally, at the cream of the crop, the best mods that I've made is, of course, without a doubt, completely big surprise to everyone watching this, the When Elevators Go Wrong videos at 25% of the vote. Yep, I really don't have much to say on this one because everybody, I knew it was going to be like this. I mean, I even said at the beginning of the video, I only grouped this into all the episodes into one choice so that way it wouldn't just be elevator videos clogging the best of the best. But the elevator videos, there are so many reasons that these videos are so good. And honestly, well, I'm not entirely sure if they're my personal favorite mods. They're definitely still high up there. Some of the most fun videos to make. And honestly, it's just really good. I love the series a lot. I've loved how it's progressed, with one kind of being a bit neutral, honestly. Kind of a bit of a taste of what would come. With 2 having a lot more going on, as well as all 4 girls and the MC. 3 kind of not really being my favorite. I'll be honest, this could also be my worst mod that I've made, is When Elevators Go Wrong 3, if I'm going to be completely honest. Elevators Go Wrong 4 kind of just being a rehash of When Elevators Go Wrong 2. 5 being a very chaotic but really fun video that's pretty damn crazy. And 6, which is a lot more, I don't really know how to say it without being advertiser friendly. Interesting. I'll put it at that. But honestly, though, this series is still one of the best of the best. I wouldn't say it's absolutely my favorite series, but it is without a doubt probably some of the best videos that I've made. And really shows how I can be kind of unique with my video ideas, which is 100% my goal. So where it stands, a great series of videos, and a great place to end off this list. So, let me know if you guys agreed with this list. Again, this was fan voted, but keep in mind, not a lot of people did vote for these picks, so yeah, I will kind of apologize for that. Also, I do apologize that this video took so long to get out. Laziness. But, with that being said, this has been the video. And who knows, maybe check these videos out when you've got time to spare. But with that being said, this is NCS07 signing out. Peace!